Hello everybody, it's Mimberly and welcome back to the channel. We are playing alternative Darkborne. Now this is SYLUS's wedding card. I am going to look away and just click date before I get spoiled. I've been really excited to play this all day because the others will be coming very soon. So, well, we're already recognizing that scene. And just to emphasize it, I have put the same necklace and pair of earrings on that I wore when me and Cade got married, just to emphasize the point. So, I didn't have any white tops, unfortunately. So, I couldn't quite go full bridal look, but you know what? Don't think the jewelry is enough. As I push open the heavy door, the majestic and sacred hall I had imagined doesn't materialize. Instead, desolation greets me. I step into the great hall. Weeds sprawl across the floor, rusty candelabra are toppled over, and withered vines climb the walls. The patterns on these walls are identical to the spatial anomalies reported in the news. I didn't expect to find one in the N109 zone. Okay, we are in the N109 zone then.
Aren't you on your way?
It is so good to play a SYLUS memory on the channel again. I detected a metaflux fluctuation, so I got held up.
Is it serious?
It's not a wanderer, probably just some fluctuations from the Deepspace tunnel.
That's good. But if you don't get here soon, I'll beat the game without you.
Give me a few minutes and put that controller down right now. You're not allowed to finish the game without me. I like how far these two have developed as a relationship. Like, when we think about how MC and SYLUS were when they first met versus now, it's just such a big difference. And I really, truly am quite happy with how Infold have developed as a relationship over time. SYLUS is a very slow burn character, and I think, to be honest, that was for the right reason. So, this spatial anomaly looks like an abandoned church. There's not a lot to investigate. I'm just about to leave when something falls. Several yellowed books and rusty coins rest on different pews throughout the church. Weird. It's as if someone lived here.
Warning. Energy fluctuation levels in this space are rising. It's ill-advised to remain here for an extended period of time.
I should wait until the fluctuation levels stabilize, and then I can do another investigation. SYLUS is gonna beat the game without you, MC. The infamous leader of Honor Kindness, who strikes fear into people wherever he goes, is playing video games with me. But the real reason for my visit is so I can invite SYLUS to attend my senior's engagement party with me. There'll be a lot of people though. Will the association or his rivals recognize him if he's my +1?
That's weird, sweetie. You lost again. Luckily for us, we're just playing games today. If these were real wanderers, they probably wouldn't share my interest in drawing cats.
Oh, hi. SYLUS puts down the controller, picks up a marker, and leans to add another stroke to my cheek. You just got lucky. You don't need to be smug about it.
Oh, I thought cats were supposed to be smug.
Okay, Mim, calm down. We've not even been recording for 5 minutes yet. He gently tilts my chin to the side, and I can see my reflection in the mirror. He's already drawn enough cat whiskers on my cheeks. I can't believe that I lost that many times.
You didn't come all the way to the N109 zone just to play games and look like a cat, right?
Shit, he's good.
I wouldn't mind if that was the case, though.
I'd definitely be visiting to play games. Of course he noticed how distracted I was. Hesitant, I pull the engagement party's invitation out of my bag. One of my seniors from school is getting engaged, so if you're free... He takes the invitation and examines it carefully. A gleam of delight flashes in his eyes.
You already know my answer. Was losing that many games worth it?
I heard her fiancé works at the Hunters Association, so there will probably be a lot of hunters at the engagement party. If your identity gets exposed and you become a target... He taps the tip of my nose with his index finger.
It's not like this is our first time interacting with a group of hunters. Wouldn't you say our past experiences have proven how good my acting skills and our rapport are?
I am so unhealthy about this man, it's not normal. His composed tone easily soothes my worries. I smile as I pick up the controller again.
Do you feel better now? You don't have an excuse not to do your best.
Fine, let's play another round. Who said I wasn't doing my best? I was letting you win earlier.
You let me win that many times. You're too kind.
Oh, I know, I am just an absolute delight. Shouldn't you return the favor? I beckon him to move closer with a come hither gesture.
A bet's a bet. I'm waiting for your magnum opus.
Still one of my favorite cards to this day. Even though I'm not gonna like this card might top it. I pick up a marker and draw a tiny heart on SYLUS's face. Done. Once you see it, you'll admit I won fair and square. SYLUS turns to look at himself in the mirror. His smile widens.
It'll be more than just accepting defeat. I'll happily lose to you a few more times.
He's too cute. I can't. On the day of the engagement party, SYLUS unsurprisingly commands attention wherever he appears.
Sky, do you know what she was like in school?
Oh, he's wearing his birthday outfit! Oh!
That's why I'm here. I'd like to learn more about her past.
No!
A hunter's work isn't easy. Since your job is in a completely different field, you need to be understanding.
Nah, because this would actually be my worst nightmare. If I was to meet up with like all the people I used to go to school with, I was a completely different person back then. I'm pretty sure most people... In fact, let me think. Out of everyone I was ever with in school, I'm only still in contact with 2 people from school. Cheese is one of them. So I have changed quite a bit.
Yes, of course. I'm adapting to the pace of a hunter's lifestyle.
While he handles everything flawlessly, I still remain vigilant of our surroundings.
Is my performance not enough to put you at ease?
We're surrounded by hunters. Better safe than sorry.
My balloon!
A child's voice interrupts as a pink balloon floats up before my eyes. I reach for it, but the string has already moved out of my grasp. Suddenly, SYLUS's arm appears as he catches the string.
Don't worry. The police and the Hunters Association say I'm not a kind-hearted person in their records.
Touché. His eyes crinkle as he forces himself to smile. He crouches down to give the balloon to the little girl running towards him.
Hi there. Is this your balloon?
Mommy!
Oh. Oh. The little girl runs away. As her crying fades into the distance, SYLUS looks at me. He's confused.
You told me to smile at people with this exact angle.
I hold back my laughter and reach out to help him stand back up. You hardly see anyone in the M109 zone who makes you want to smile. You've grown rusty.
You're not wrong. I only get plenty of practice when I'm meeting people with you.
He gives me a faint smile.
The more I practice, the better I'll get. Isn't that right?
He's such a sweetheart! I smile as I tie the pink balloon to his wrist. Let me teach you another trick for looking approachable. Bring something cute with you. Even the sternest face becomes twice as friendly.
Cute, huh? I already have that.
You are a cutie patootie.
Maybe you're not close enough for it to be obvious.
He suddenly pulls me close. With his arm around my shoulders, he looks at me.
I should look friendlier now that I have you and the balloon, right?
I am so unhealthy about this man. God's sake. As night falls, the party moves indoors. The lawn is empty, and the light's glow is misty as it diffuses into the night sky. I sit with SYLUS on the steps outside. The pink balloon on his wrist is like a tiny exclamation mark in the tranquil night. Too bad we couldn't find that little girl. I wanted to return her balloon. I poked the balloon's soft surface.
Let's just consider it a gift from her.
Someone's shameless. My fingertip moves from the balloon to SYLUS's face.
You're in a good mood today.
Yeah. It's probably because you got a lot of chances to practice your smile.
Should I show you the results?
Haven't you been doing that this whole time? My finger slides to his lips and gently touches them. How the fuck can Mimby reach is my question. I'll give you 99 points. His warm lips are pressed against the pad of my finger.
I guess I made significant progress. This is the highest score I've ever received.
You didn't really smile before.
Well, you said it yourself. Very few people in the N109 zone can make me smile.
Then what happened earlier? SYLUS pauses slightly. He lowers his gaze to look at me.
Why are you asking?
It's probably because of the party game. When my senior and her boyfriend were asked about each other's past, they both answered quickly. I hook my finger around the balloon string and pull it. The pink balloon partially hides my face.
Are you interested in playing a game like that?
I can think of a few. I can think of a few games we can play. I just imagined myself in that situation and realized I wouldn't be able to answer everything about you.
But everything they mentioned were happy memories. Ever since we met, I can talk for weeks about those.
SYLUS pushes the balloon aside with his hand, and his gaze lands on my face.
There's today's balloon. The chances to practice my smile. Dancing with you here. And casual conversations while sitting on these steps. Instead of focusing on the parts of my past where you weren't present, I'd rather create memories with you.
Mim, we're not 20 minutes in yet. Don't you dare start fucking crying now. I pause before quietly resting my head against him. We look at the grass bathed in moonlight. You fucking cutie patootie. I'm not actually surprised by SYLUS's response. He tends to avoid talking about his past for the most part. But in some corner of my heart, a subtle disappointment slowly creeps in. We've grown closer and entered each other's lives. The areas where we intersect have also increased. However, he's only opened a small crack for me to peer into when his past is involved. Well, they're not exactly pleasant memories, Gertie. The next day... we're going back to that church? Yeah.
Energy fluctuation levels in this space are currently stable. You may proceed with an investigation.
I push open the heavy church door for the second time. As I venture deeper into the building, the light gradually becomes increasingly dim. The glow from my hunter's watch only illuminates a few meters ahead. Chess? Someone has the time to learn how to play chess in this depolated space? Huh, they must live a carefree life. My words echo throughout the empty church.
You as well. It seems you have the time to analyze someone else's hobbies in the same place.
Hi? A familiar voice resounds from the doorway. Surprised, I turn my head to see SYLUS leaning against the entrance. He has his arms crossed. Why are you here?
I wanted to ask you the same question, sweetie.
Though, I'm here to investigate the spatial anomaly. Wait, how did you know I would visit? Mephisto is such a little... He's such a little shit. Guys, please remember that if we hit 2,500 subscribers this year, I will be getting a Mephisto tattoo. So please, for the love of God, if you haven't already subscribed. A silhouette flashes past the window. A crow's cry, whether it's answering me or mocking me, I'm not sure, lingers outside. Mephisto. He really is a helpful bird.
It's just a coincidence. This place happens to be within Mephisto's usual patrol route.
Uh-huh. What about you? Why are you here? He lowers his arms and slowly strolls into the church.
Spatial anomalies aren't restricted areas. That includes the ones in the N109 zone.
I still need to figure out if it's safe to enter and exit this space. You should leave first.
Is it unsafe? That's all the more reason for me to stay.
He walks up to me. Candlelight suddenly flickers to life in front of his hand. When I get a closer look, I see he produced a set of matches from who knows where. He strikes one to light a candelabrum beside a pew.
The church is massive. I doubt your watch will last long here.
Do you usually carry matches with you? I don't think I've ever seen you with them before.
It's just another coincidence.
Uh-huh. He holds the candelabrum while extending his upper hand towards me. He's too handsome for his own good. I feel like there are too many coincidences today.
Wouldn't the biggest one be you discovering this place? And since coincidences brought us here, maybe it was fate that you needed someone to help you find your way.
For some reason, my heart feels lighter because of this unexpected encounter. SYLUS uses the lit candle in the candelabrum he is holding to light the other candles throughout the Great Hall. The darkness is gradually conquered one flame at a time. Bandages and gauze are scattered along the aisle. It's as if someone tried to use them but eventually tossed them aside in frustration. With all these medical supplies, do you think this place was used as a safe house?
It's a good choice. Most people wouldn't be interested in entering a rundown church like this. Very safe.
SYLUS is terrible at tending to his wounds. He always makes a mess of the bandages. Is this another coincidence? I turn my head and look at him thoughtfully.
Yes?
It's nothing. I just feel like you understand the person who stayed here.
People in need of safe houses think along the same lines.
His explanation is flawless, but it's not enough to dispel my suspicions. I pull SYLUS over to the windowsill where a yellowed old book lies.
Are you interested in this place, or in the person who used it?
He tightens his grip on my hand slightly, and I take the opportunity to pull him a little closer to the window. Bring the candle here. I can't make out any of the text. Under the flickering candlelight, I brush away the dust from the book. It's a worn atlas that meticulously documents the geographical layout of a technology center. According to various records, the N109 zone was a thriving tech hub 14 years ago. And then something that could be called evidence appears. SYLUS, look at the handwriting. Doesn't it look familiar to you? I show him the page with bold, untamed handwriting.
Aren't hunters supposed to investigate spatial anomalies? When did you become a detective?
Look, it's part of the job, mate. If you don't want to admit it, I won't force you. But you can't interfere with what I've discovered on my own.
All right, Miss Sharp-Eyed Hunter, who's also a detective. What else have you deduced from these simple clues?
This spatial anomaly didn't appear because of the recent Deepspace tunnel fluctuations. It's highly likely that it existed for at least 10 years.
It's true that deep space tunnel fluctuations have occurred more than once.
The flickering candlelight is reflected in his eyes. It's like a faint glow dancing among shadows. At the far end of the church stands a weathered pipe organ. I see several objects scattered across its keyboard. They're polished crystals of various colours. Now they're dull. Your fondness of shiny things hasn't changed a bit. I mutter quietly to myself, but it still reaches his ears. He sets the candlebroom aside and picks up a dust-covered crystal. He weighs it in his hand.
They're just ordinary crystals. Kids in the N109 zone used to pretend they were gems to impress people.
People actually fell for that?
Maybe someone wanted to brighten up this dreary place.
I pause. Then I take the crystal from his hand to examine the marks of the repeated polishing. Under what circumstances would a person want to decorate a safe house? I guess it'd be when someone starts treating a safe house as a home. He looks at me, and that gaze, which felt impossible to read, now seems to be comprehensible.
You'd be a good detective.
He's trying so hard to, like, subtly remember, like, get MC to remember about her past with him when he was a dragon. And honestly, it is so, like, it's a bittersweet because it's really cute that SYLUS is dropping these subtle hints, but it's also bittersweet because MC is just not picking it up. I suddenly step on something hard. I look down and discover several rusty bullet casings. Each one is marked with dark brown stains. Is that blood? I bend down to pick one up, but SYLUS suddenly reaches out to stop me.
Don't look at those.
He has me sit down, and then he places a finger on one of the organ keys. The pipe organ... God, English. The pipe organ that's been neglected for years produces a deep, muffled noise. Did the bullets that were extracted from flesh and still wet with blood make the same hollow sound when they fell to this floor? Why did you choose this place as your safe house?
It was the first area I saw after coming here. Back then, this place wasn't called the N109 zone. And before I gained a footing here, this was my first safe house.
He turns to look at me, and a faint smile appears on his face.
Or, you could say this was my first home.
For reasons I can't explain, my heart feels a sudden twinge of pain.
Warning. Energy fluctuation levels in this space are rising. It's ill-advised to remain here for an extended period of time.
Why are the fluctuation levels rising again?
Didn't you see the news, sweetie? The current deep space tunnel fluctuations are entering their final phase. The spatial anomalies they created are disappearing one after another.
Ready to leave, he pulls me to my feet, but I stay where I am.
Why aren't you moving? A good hunter knows when to quit while they're ahead.
Will this place disappear too? Hasn't it existed for a while?
Every intense fluctuation from the deep space tunnel creates new spatial anomalies while obliterating others. This place probably won't last for much longer.
Aren't you sad to see it go? After all, this place is...
I haven't been here in a long time.
He ruffles my hair.
If you hadn't found it, I probably wouldn't even remember what happened here.
You liar. His expression remains nonchalant, as if he's saying goodbye to something trivial.
Even if it vanished without a trace one day, I'll remember this place for a while longer. All because you visited it.
The candle in the nearby calabarum has burned out. Its bluish-grey smoke only fades away. I look around this weed-covered place and an idea forms in my mind. Will SYLUS's memory of his first home always be in this desolate state? There's a theory about the human brain. It's good at remembering results while forgetting the process. If the results are beautiful, then the pain experienced along the way gradually fades. If SYLUS could see what the church originally looked like, Will the memory of his first home be preserved in a less gloomy image? I plan to secretly decorate the central area of the church to give SYLUS a surprise. One day later... This is hitting me so much different. I push open the door for the third time. Amazed, I stare at the church. It's been completely restored and everything is even more majestic than I imagined.
You arrived earlier than I expected.
Ah! How did you...
Because I had the same plan as you.
He looks so good in that suit. Oh! Woo! What's with the formal clothes?
Weren't we going to create the most unforgettable memory before this place disappears? I always take occasions like this very seriously.
He leads me to a pew where a large gift box sits. Once it's opened, it reveals an exquisite formal dress inside. I also have to dress up?
Did you think you'd be a spectator in the memory we're creating?
Warning. Abnormal fluctuations detected in this area. Its dissipation is imminent.
Your association system is very efficient.
Before this place disappears, should we do something you've never done before?
It sounds like you already have something in mind.
I scan the room, and then I point at the withered vines that are strikingly out of place. Have you ever seen them bloom?
No.
Come here. I pull SYLUS over to the pillar and place his hand on one of the vines.
Did you plan this?
Sights we've never seen before are the most unforgettable, right? SYLUS smiles as the energy flows from his palm. I place my hand over his and resonate with him. Aww. Black-red mist winds through the entire church. Flowers of various colours bloom on every vine as far as the eye can see. The lifeless church is filled with light, and now it's bursting with vitality. The expression on SYLUS' face slightly softens at the sight of the transformation.
Why did you want to create a new memory for me here?
Because this is where you opened up about your past. He leads me to sit on the stairs that ascend to the central platform. Candles illuminate both sides of the pews, and colourful light from the stained glass windows slants across the steps. At the far end stands that heavy door.
You were the one who chose to open the door.
What lies beneath it aren't ruins anymore. He looks at me, and tenderness flickers in his eyes.
You are what lies behind this door now. I'll always remember the new memories you've given me. But the ones we can create here aren't limited to just these.
Why is he so cute?
People usually come here to exchange vows. Obviously, that isn't something you can do alone.
These evil flowers are blooming only because of our resonance. Oh, we get to hold his hands. Oh. Oh, that's beautiful. It's a shame these flowers won't last long.
There's something I want to do with you before they disappear.
Oh. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna talk about this after the card. But SYLUS, will you be sad when everything that happened here vanishes?
It just means everything that happened here will become a secret between us. However, I hope we'll share more than one secret. I want more memories of us. Until they fill our future. And you?
I wish I could make all your dreams come true.
In that case,
there it is.
I want this wish to last forever.
The church is fading away. SYLUS, are you brave enough to accompany me?
Always.
Oh. He's too majestic, man. Oh wow, that animation. Oh, he's so tall compared to us.
Maybe the world outside is coming to an end. Doomsday and all that jazz.
Fuck's how many times is SYLUS gonna say the word doomsday? SYLUS VA. Yes. Say less. This is the perfect time to create memories related to it then.
Alright, let's create more memories with each other. Until Doomsday itself actually arrives.
Oh. I'm jealous! I want that should be me! I know it is technically me, but it's not me. Oh. What a beautiful kindled, man. I'm gonna talk a bit more about this in a minute. So let's get this card finished and then I want to discuss my thoughts because I have quite a few on this one. The world outside isn't ending. The world outside isn't ending. I just said that. In fact, it's peaceful beyond our imagination. Oh, we're back to video games. You lost again! On the sofa, I kick off my slippers, get on my knees, and move behind him. I take another colourful hair tie off my wrist. SYLUS, we can't let your enemies know that you're a sore loser when video games are involved. Hee. As I say this, I grab some hair from the back of his head and tie it into a little ponytail with ease. Otherwise, they'll stop challenging you to card games and fights. They'll invite you to play video games instead.
You're not even this proud when you kill S-rank wanderers.
Well, I mean, conquering the leader of the M109 zone is a good, you know, it's an accomplishment. Of course, this is a rarer achievement than defeating S-rank wanderers. It's hard not to be proud. I turn his head to face me. Staring at the little ponytail sticking out in all directions on his head, I can't help but touch him.
Something is wrong with the controller.
You still being stubborn. Didn't I bring a pair of new ones? Where did you put them?
You're being very accommodating. Let me guess. There's a condition.
It's simple. If you lose in the next round, you'll let me take a photo of you. Deal? SYLUS not haggling when you make deals with him is one of the many indicators that shows he's in a good mood. Oh, He points at where the controllers are. I go there while thinking about the perfect angles for his photo shoot later. The shelves before me are lined with dull crystals, yellowed books, and an antique chess set. And tied to the railing on the side of the shelf is a familiar pink balloon.
Did you find them?
I turn around. I can't take him seriously when I see the ponytail. Astonished, I stare at the man walking towards me with tiny ponytails all over his head. Since when did you become so sentimental, SYLUS? He smiles as he picks up the box of controllers with one hand while taking my hand with the other.
I haven't.
Uh-huh.
I'm preserving as many of our shared memories as I can.
His ridiculous hairstyle and matter-of-fact tone clash with the romantic sentiment he expressed. But my racing heart tells me that I'll also cherish this moment until we reach our vows set deadline. SYLUS, I sometimes think spatial anomalies return to where they came from instead of disappearing.
Isn't that fitting? It's just like the things in this room.
He squeezes my hand even tighter.
Everything that happened. Every word that was spoken. They're all preserved in deep space.
I'm not gonna lie, that might be my favorite one so far. I genuinely think that might be my favorite SYLUS memory so far. And I got the dress. Okay, I think if I remember correctly, I should now have the ring, right? There we go. Okay, right, I'm just going to change over to my Just Chatting screen and we are going to talk about it. Okay, so my overall impressions of that memory, I'm going to be completely upfront. I think that's probably one of the best ones we've had so far. And I'm not just saying that because it is a fluff card. I think SYLUS girlies have been quite lucky the last couple of cards we've had of him because we've seen the much softer side of SYLUS. And SYLUS is the definition of a slow burn in Love and Deepspace. He's one of those characters that I would argue took the longest to get our relationship onto the right path. Now, obviously, we were kind of put in a position where we thought he was like a major red flag when we first meet him in the story. But now that we have played through the myths, and I'm going to give you guys a disclaimer now. If you are new to Love and Deepspace, do your research into the lore because it makes these cards hit so much harder, and this card was a prime example of that. There were multiple references to the dragon myth, such as the flowers, the church, the fact that we played the pipe organ for him. There are so many references in that memory that if you hadn't played the dragon myth or played like Searing Touch and things like that, none of those references would have clocked, and that would have personally, in my opinion, ruined the first experience of the card. The same applies to things like the anecdotes, and I'll say this for all the love interests. If you are truly planning on playing Love and Deepspace properly, do your research into the lore, because the game has got one of these games. How do I explain this? Like, when I first started seeing what Love and Deepspace was, I rolled my eyes at it. I thought it was just another dating sim, and the characters just happened to be 3D instead of, like, obviously, you know, pixels. And oh boy, was I wrong. The reason we call this game Love and Depression rather than Love and Deepspace is because the lore in this game and the backstory that they have built with each love interest with the MC builds the story so much that it gets to the point where when we see a slight reference to a myth, it hits us in the feels. And this is one of the reasons why I will personally argue that Infod has got some of the best storytelling. Jailru is the exact same. Jailru is one of my best mates. She's recently started playing Love and Deepspace on her channel. She actually started playing just before 4.0. She actually started just before Kayla's birthday. So in my opinion, I think she joined the game at a really good time. I've been watching her playing through the story, and she's just got to the Caleb incident, shall we call it. And she was like, going, oh, but he's a love interest, so does that mean we're going to get reunited? Now, obviously that is a little bit of a spoiler because we do know that Caleb is a love interest, but one thing I will say is Jailru is taking the time to look into the lore. And that's one of the reasons I love her so much, because I've had people coming up to me about Love and Deepspace, not just like in my personal life, but also like online, asking me questions like, oh, how do you record it? Which, by the way, I'm making a video on that. Keep an eye out for it. I'm genuinely at that point now with Love and Deepspace that anytime a new card is coming up, I'm kind of tense, waiting for a reference. I may not be the smartest tool in the shed. I tend to miss a few things because there's so much lore that I don't physically remember everything. And that's why I love you guys, because you are always pointing out to me in the comments when there's a reference I've missed. And honestly, this game has not just changed my life when it comes to the type of games that I play and also how I look at the games. Because I used to look at it more as like a consumer perspective. I now look at it as a company perspective. That's one of the reasons that as a channel, I don't tend to cover negative content. Now, the reason for that is I personally think there are already certain content creators out there that will cover the negative content, and if that's something that you enjoy watching or things, or for whatever your own reasons may be, that is completely fine. That is down to you. However, as an individual player, and I can confidently say this, I used to be one of those people who would react to drama. Now, this is not my proudest time, I'm going to be completely frank. But, for example, Genshin Impact. Now, this is not me doing the whole, oh, Hoyoverse versus Infold story. That's not the case at all. I'm just talking from personal experience. When it comes to Genshin Impact, I see so much toxicity from that community that I took a major break from the game, and it took me nearly 2 years to feel the urge to pick the game back up again because the community was just so toxic. I'm now in a position where I am looking at games from a company perspective, being these games are free to play. They have to make money somehow, and the way that they make money is by investing a lot of time into their digital marketing, being the character trailers, the demos, being constantly active on social media, giveaways, things like that. Because without that digital marketing, the company would not be making money, and if the game wasn't making the company money, they wouldn't be able to afford to pay the staff and the voice actors that bring these characters to life. So whenever I see people kicking off about how Love and Deepspace is not exactly free to play friendly, I understand both sides of the story. I understand that as a community, we want to be able to enjoy the cards that we have. But at the same time, I also understand that Infolds sometimes have to be a bit greedy in order to keep these games going. Because, for example, if the game was still running but they didn't pay their voice actors, the experience would be ruined, right? So, I just want you guys to remember that we may give Infolds shit for things like, you know, do we remember back on Tomorrow's Catch-22 when we were kicking off about the mullets? It was the first quaint banner that Caleb was on back then, and they were trying to guarantee they were going to make money. And I honestly can't blame the company. As somebody who is unfortunately living on the life of broke all the time, I understand about, you know, wanting to make money. I mean, for God's sake, I have a membership program which gives you early access to videos if you pay £2.99 a month. I feel terrible for the people who are paying for that early access. That's one of the reasons I don't pay all my content, even on Patreon. You can join as a member on Patreon for completely free. If you want to support me through Patreon, that is your own decision. Because I know some people don't like using YouTube, and you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with that. But that's one of the reasons why I try to keep my channel as positive as possible, because I want this channel to be a safe space for people to come to and enjoy the content without the toxicity. If I see a toxic comment in my videos, if it's genuinely, for example, talking about, let's just say for argument's sake, the Tomorrow's Catch-22 banner, which I would argue was a very big drama turning point for me, a lot of content creators actually felt scared to upload their videos during the boycott situation because we were worried about the hate comments we were going to get. In the nicest way possible, I don't believe that you should be following the crowd. I think you should do what you want to do. If you want to spend £200 on a video game that makes you happy, you do you. Just don't go overboard. Have fun, but don't get addicted. Obviously, it's a bit different for me because obviously I kind of do this as a side hustle as well as a hobby. But as general everyday consumers, I just want to remind everybody that if you don't like the game or you have a problem with it, you're not legally complied to play it. If you don't like it, don't play it. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. It's very simple mannerisms. And I just want to reiterate that again, you are more than welcome to give me your opinion, whether it's positive or negative. Just don't be toxic and ruin it for everybody else. There's a difference between giving negative feedback versus being a dick about it. Alright? But anyway, I really genuinely enjoyed this card. This has probably got to be my favorite SYLUS card yet. I'm probably going to make a tier list at some point, see if I can figure out how to do it. Because honestly, I think SYLUS has got so much lore and backstory now that I think I'm confident enough to make a story about it, as well as some things that I would like to see for SYLUS in the future. So let me know if that's a video that you would like to see, and if so, if you have a tier list website you'd recommend, please let me know. And keep an eye out for Zane's cards. That will be coming out on Sunday. I think. No, Saturday I want to say actually. Hold on a moment. Let me see. So, right. On Sunday you'll be getting Zane's. Monday you'll be getting Xavier's. Tuesday you'll be getting Raphael's. And Wednesday you will be getting Caleb's. Keep an eye out for those videos because trust me, I am working so hard right now to catch up on content. And I just want to thank you all again for the love and support. We got quite a good number of performances on the polling video. I know those videos always do somewhat well for the channel. So thank you guys for supporting me and watching me. And let me know what you want to see next after this banner's done. See you later, guys. Bye!